Hey there, welcome back friends. In this video we will talk about checkboxes. So let's get started. So in here, first of all, let me open up the user form, and as of now we have a couple of options, which is nice, which is good. So let us add yet another option, and this option would be, for example, visited countries. Good enough. And now let us also add in a paragraph tag before this option. That would be good. All right, and now, oops, I have made a mistake in here. The paragraph tag needs to end later. All right, so now let us quickly try to understand the options which are available to us. So it would be like form colon, and there are two options, checkbox and checkboxes. Again, we will check checkboxes later. Let us check the checkbox option. So firstly, we need to handle the path, but we will handle the path later. Let us make use of a value attribute, and the value could be, for example, China. Let me copy this. Let me paste it in here a couple of times, right? And let me also keep on adding couple of labels. So it would be firstly China colon China, then Taiwan, maybe value would be Taiwan, then it could be like Germany. Let me copy the name, let me paste it in here, and finally maybe Bhutan. Alright, so this looks good to me, and now let me format things a little. Alright, so this looks good, and now if for example I quickly run this application, then you would be able to see a new element in the web page. Here we go. So we have this checkboxes. Now you can easily make out that a user may check multiple options. So now whenever we are like receiving the values could be one or many, and now as there could be like multiple checkboxes, we need to handle the path in a better manner. So first of all, let us add a variable as a path as visited countries, like this. Let me copy this name and paste it as a path. Definitely this variable is not available, but now this variable needs to be slightly a special variable. Let me show you why. So again, let me navigate to the model, user model, and here again it would be a string entity. Name would be visited countries, but if we make it as a normal variable cannot accommodate multiple values. As a result, we need to make it as a array. So this is a special thing which we need to do. And finally, let us quickly right click, navigate to source, and we will generate the getters and setters for the same. Here we go. So we can easily make out even the getters and setters are little different, and they receives array. All right, so take a note of it. All right, and now everything should work. Actually, it is good enough, but there is one small little thing. Let me quickly navigate to our controller, and in our controller we will receive the information as a user object, no problem. And now let us quickly try to check our display user info form. Alright, so in here what we will do, we will make use of what? We need to loop over the visited country and display it one by one. So let me quickly show you how we can loop over object and display the information accordingly. Now in order to loop over the object visited country, definitely we will make use of JSTL. So in here, if I type in C colon, we would be able to see this for each, right? And inside this for each there are a couple of attributes. One of the attribute is items, and for items we will make use of the expression language. Here we go. And let me also show you this particular visited countries object. So this visited countries object will be iterated over this for each loop, and for every iteration we will get a variable. So in here we again have this attribute where. This is nothing but a variable, and it would be, for example, country. Now this may confuse you with this country. So in fact, in order to reduce the confusion, I will simply give the name as item. Alright, and in between this for loop, we will simply make use of a list, and we will display the item. So it would be again in the form of expression element. Here we go, and this looks good to me. Alright, let me quickly run this application. Here we go. Now let me add my name, mail, India, good, Taiwan, Bhutan. Let me submit, and oops, I suppose we have forgot something here, and I'm not pretty sure why it is not showing up. Let me check. Now as it is not showing up the information, we can like do one thing. We can check this file, display user info.jsp. Let me expand this, and in here, alright, so here is the mistake. The name of the object is user. Let me show you. So we are sending user, and we are not accessing a property of user. The property of user, let me show you real quick. Here is our model. This visited countries is nothing but a property of user. So let me copy this name. Let me navigate to display info.jsp file. Let me expand this, and in here we will make use of this property visited countries from the object user. That's good. And let me also add a label as visited countries, like this, colon, and let us create a list, and the list would be of type unordered list. So we need to also make use of this unordered list tags, and inside this unordered list we will create a list by taking help of this for each loop. Pretty good enough. Alright, let me refresh this page again. My name, mail, from India, author, China, Bhutan, submit. Here we go. So this is good, and we are done with this. Alright, now moving forward, let me also show you a very important thing. So in here, for example, we check this particular part where we are simply passing user. Recently I have received couple of questions where people were making use of some kind of annotations, for example model attribute, and they were facing some kind of issue. Even though we can make use of model attribute annotation, but go with this notation where we directly pass in an object. That is better, because making use of the annotation is optional, and I guess Spring is making use of annotation as obsolete, and it will, for example, receive only the object name, and it will identify the information based on the type. So in here, let me show you how Spring is identifying the stuff. So in here, for example, we are making use of this attribute user, right? So Spring knows that which type of attribute is being passed, and based on this attribute type, it will receive the information to the post mapping method. This method will handle the form. So Spring knows that it will check the type of this attribute. Let me show you this model attribute with the parameter which this method receives, and it will match it and it will move forward. So making use of this model attribute is like optional, and you should not use it because some of the users are facing some kind of consistency issues. They are not able to run their application with model attribute annotation. Alright, so having said that, this is it for today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thanks for watching. Have a nice day and take care.